Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Baba Shuaib, this is Sethoo speaking.
No problem. Sethoo.
Yeah.
Nice to hear from you.
Nice to hear from you too. How are you doing?
Thank God. No complaints. All good.
Yeah, that is nice. That is
we
nice.
Take it day by day.
That is nice. Baba, the reason why I'm calling you is about the debates that you had with Siddik Salis, right?
Yeah.
You had this debate with that Muslim brother, and then I spoke with him yesterday. So I decided to call you to hear a little bit from you too, from your side too.
Yeah. Can you repeat what you just said? I didn't hear that.
Okay. I said the reason why, but first of all, let me just say this one for the first time. I am recording the conversation, and I'm going to let people hear whatever we are going to talk about. Okay?
Yeah, no problem. I'm okay with that.
Okay, you are okay with that. So I'll just post it on Facebook or on YouTube for people to listen to whatever you also have to say. The reason why I'm calling is about the debate you had with Siddik Salis.
Yes.
Okay. I spoke with him yesterday, and then I decided to call you too, so that I can also listen from a side of the story. Let's say it like that, okay?
Yeah.
How did you find the debate, Baba?
It wasn't what I expected. Because if the Siddik claim he's learned to that extent that he knows what he's following, I don't see that he has to struggle, facing me in a debate. Of course, I know when it comes to experience in debates, I would tell you emphatically he's an amateur, and he clearly showed it in the debate that he doesn't have that capability or capacity of handling a debate. He was emotional. He was all over the place. He was frustrated. He was basing his argument on things that are out of the subject matter of discussion. So for me, if anybody who watched the debate, you can see me smiling, like not taking him seriously when he was upset, frustrated, emotionally damaged. I was just looking at him because I can see the unprofessionality around what he was doing. Yeah.
Okay. But you see, how did this debate even came about? Who proposed it, and why was the debate done on his platform and not a neutral platform?
Yes, and that is an interesting part, because I had a conversation with him about 3 times after before we had the debate. We did a phone conversation about 3 times, right? And how did the debate come about? He took one of my old videos that I did about 2 or 3 years ago. I think 2 years ago. Okay. And he found my video that somebody shared, and where I say, why are you calling the prophet holy? God never called him holy. Neither do even their hadith books. They don't have any single hadith book in Arabic language which calls the prophet holy. No scholar on earth can bring such a hadith book which calls the prophet holy. So by this, I was triggering their senses to call them back to their senses. Stop calling this honorable man holy. It is not an insult, but because people hate the messenger, not the message, they think I'm the one actually against the prophet. So then they took it as an offense. So Siddik took my video and started insulting me. He called me a lunatic. He called me a madman. He called me, like, he was calling me all the names. He even insulted my parents. I'm serious, to be honest. And I didn't expect from somebody who is educated like Siddik, who claims to be educated, a university graduate. You understand? A sound person as Siddik, taking my video, putting me there, mentioning my name. And so no scholar in Ghana has ever done that to me. Of course, I don't consider Siddik as a scholar, though, because he doesn't have any popular works out there that people are relying on. So in terms of people relying on somebody's intellectual, works, I don't think you can compare me with Siddik, because Siddik, nobody actually takes him seriously out there.
Okay.
If you get my point, I'm not saying this to be pompous or arrogant. I'm just saying the fact. Because if not me going with the Siddik to debate, do you actually know Siddik to be somebody in the mainstream or somebody you know?
No, actually, recently I started hearing about Siddik. I didn't really know about him, anything about him. I just recently, UTI Dawa and Hafiz Buhari, they have been there already. But this Siddik, I just recently started hearing about him. And then I think he was trying to respond to your video. That is what I actually get to know of him, to be honest.
Exactly. So my video gave him exposure. Actually, one of my videos that he did against me, concerning the Prophet being holy, he got 35,000 viewers. That is highest viewers ever. He did against Abraham Mboshe, whoever. He never got that type of views.
But
right? So when he tackled me, the attention came. And this is what triggered the debate. So when I saw it, I did a rebuttal. I went to my page, I arranged him, I took all of his videos, I started crashing him down. So he felt like it bent him to the core. He wasn't happy about the way I handled him. That's why he called for the debate.
Okay, so
he sat on his platform and called for debate. Yeah.
Baba Shuaib, so are you saying when you say Prophet Muhammad is not a holy prophet, you don't call him holy? You are not saying this not to disrespect the prophet, but you are just only acknowledging what the Quran doesn't say or the Hadith doesn't say. But they took it as an insult.
Exactly. They took it as an insult because already they've been propagating the message to their followers, saying that I'm the enemy of Islam. I'm the enemy of God. I'm the enemy of the Quran. This is what they keep telling their people always. Yes, they keep telling us. So when that statement came from me, then they wanted to use that as an epitome of attacking me.
Okay.
So when I saw Siddik take my video, meanwhile, Siddik has my direct contact on Facebook. He has contacted me before in 2019. We had a phone conversation.
Oh.
Yes, he even asked me permission to record, and I said, yes, you can record. We had a discussion. Siddik wanted to know who is your teacher, and I said, I don't discuss these issues with a person I don't know. If I don't know you, I don't tell you my background. It's like me calling you as a stranger, says, Sethoo, you don't know me, then I'll start asking you a question. Sethoo, where did you go to school? Who is your teacher? Do I know your motive? Why will I keep asking you that question?
Okay.
And why will you even answer me in that manner? You don't need to answer me.
Okay. So just for the audience to get this clear, okay? When you say Prophet Muhammad is a prophet, but not a holy prophet, it is not an attack on Prophet Muhammad. You are just stating facts according to the Hadith or the Quran. That is all.
Yes. It was a fact. I wasn't insulting him. I respect the Prophet. According to Quran chapter 7, verse 157, it says you have to believe in him, honor him, respect him, and follow the light which God has sent with him. I do all these things. I honor him. It is part of the honor that I don't want anybody to make a mockery against him. And that is what the Hadith use, the sectarians, they do. They mock him. They claim he married a 6-year-old girl. They claim he slept with his 11 wives in one night. They claim he slept with his concubine on the bed of one of his wives. They claim he tried to force one lady to sleep with her, and she shamed him in public. And so on. And so they have all this in their books.
Okay.
So I was trying to filter these issues by showing the people the real Islam is found in the Quran, not in their so-called fabricated books.
But do you know what's funny? Because what you just said, the real Islam is found in the Quran. That is what you just said. When I was speaking with Siddik yesterday, he said, I asked him, can one be a Muslim? Can one be a Muslim following the Quran alone? He clearly said no. He said no, it's not possible. That means Islam is not only in the Quran. He says the Hadith teaches you more about Islam, or he says something like this. What do you say about this? When he says something like the Quran alone
Sethoo,
cannot make you a Muslim?
Sethoo, you forgot he didn't give you any proof. Did he give you proof?
No, because he said, yes, he said like in the Quran, in the Hadith, he said in the Hadith, the angel came to the Prophet, and then the Prophet asked the angel, what is Islam? So the angel...
I know what the Hadith you are going to quote, but is Hadith the word of God?
He explained it to the extent that, yes, that is also a revelation from Allah, but not the same as the Quran. Because the Quran is word for word. That's what he was trying to tell me, according to the conversation we had yesterday. He was saying something...
But he couldn't prove it at the debate. He couldn't prove it if the Hadith was the word of God. He couldn't prove that. We were there to see if the hadith explains the Quran. If it actually does, God will have said there's a book called hadith.
He was using the argument that the Quran and the hikmah, also the knowledge. You see, they say the book. He used that statement yesterday, I think, in our conversation, that Allah said there is the Quran and then there is the knowledge. So I've forgotten how.
There's the wisdom. He's trying to say Quran and the wisdom.
Quran,
he's confused.
Yes.
God mentioned Al-Kitab. When we say Al-Kitab, we are talking about the book, the written book, the written manuscript. That is Al-Kitab. That it has to be written down. So the Prophet has to teach his people how to write that book down. But the question is, if we say the book, it becomes a subject and it becomes a content. When something has a content inside, it has a definite article. So for instance, if you take an empty glass, we call it a glass. When you put water into the glass, we call it the glass, because now it has a subject matter to be discussed. So when you take the book, the question is, what is written inside? Then we can say the Quran is written inside. So if you ask them intellectual questions like this, if you ask any sectarian, did God say the Prophet was reciting the verses and teaching people the book, or was he teaching the people the Quran? What is it? They will get confused and tell you, oh, the Quran is the same as the book. No, it is not the same. The book is the written manuscript where when you open it, inside it, you find the Quran. The Quran is actually the reading that you find in the book. Please, Sethoo, if I put water in a glass, does that mean the water is the glass?
No.
You see the point? But if I say, give me the water, it means you are going to join the glass and the water together to give it to me. Are you going to bring water to me without the glass?
Okay.
Do you get the logic here?
I understand what you are saying. Okay.
That is the point. So when God says he need the messengers to teach them the book, he has to teach them to write the things in the book. But it doesn't mean to teach them the Quran. The Quran is self-explanatory. God has already explained it. Who is the teacher of the Quran? God took the title. Quran chapter 55, verse 1 to verse 4. He is the teacher of the Quran. God. He never said Muhammad is the teacher of the Quran. And who explains the Quran? Quran chapter 75, verse 16 to 19. It is God still explaining the Quran. He never said Muhammad should explain the Quran. But the misconception the sectarians have is when God says, وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ, then they will say, what is the Al-Kitab? Is it not the Quran? You see how they assume? They will now ask you to the question, oh, what is the Al-Kitab? What is the book? Is it not the Al-Quran? So if you say yes, then they will say, how can the hikmah also be in the Quran? You see how confused they are?
Because that was exactly what he was saying yesterday. He said, for you to assume or for you to say that the book is the Quran and the hikmah is also the Quran, it's like saying you have to learn the Quran and the Quran.
Nobody is saying the book is the Quran and the hikmah is the Quran. I never stood anywhere to say that. Intellectually, I'm like, that's why I'm teaching these guys logic, and he doesn't understand logic. When you take the book, Sethoo, inside the book, you can write mathematics, you can write science, you can write social studies, you can write religious and moral education inside a book. After you write all these things in a book, what does it become? It becomes the book because it has something to be discussed inside. Do you get my point? So when you take the book, what do you find inside? Then we say you find the Quran. When you take the book, what do you find inside? Oh, we find the hikmah. When you take the book, what do you find inside? Oh, we find the guidance. Do you get my point?
I get your point.
So the book is what God asked the messenger to teach the people so that they will know how to write it and have the copy with them. So when they have the copy, if they open, what do they get inside? They will get the Quran. If they open, what do they get inside? They get the wisdom. And Quran chapter 17, verse 39, God says the wisdom is found in the book.
Okay.
Yes.
You see, I watched the debate. Okay, I watched not to the ending, but I watched almost like 85% of the debate I've watched. I'm still watching. I like the fact that let me say this for the meantime, okay? Because I know we have done programs before, and now I don't know if you have noticed or you know already, but I am now a Christian, right? I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
So the day before we were doing programs, I was a non-believer. I didn't believe in the book, but it still doesn't change the fact that when I listen to you, okay, when I listen to you, and the way you understand the Quran is totally different from the way maybe Siddik and the rest understands the Quran. And I like the fact that whenever you are like you giving references, okay, you want people to like this is what I'm saying is based on the Quran. You give references. That's what I like about your teachings, and I really appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you.
But the debate, how it started, right? Siddik never gave us any presentation for himself.
No.
So how were you able to question him? I don't understand, because the debate was to be a presentation, and then you are going to cross-examine each other based on the presentation that you make.
Exactly.
Was that was the deal, right?
Yes, that's the agreement.
So how come he never gave any presentation from his own? Did he give any reason why he didn't do that?
I don't need reasons from him. Do I need reason? I don't think so. Okay. You understand? If you make an agreement with somebody, like let's meet at this place at 1:00, right? And then the person breaks the agreement. Can you trust such a person again?
No, maybe there is a reason why he broke the agreement. That is what I'm saying.
No, if there is a reason, who should be the one to explain?
Maybe he should. That is why I'm asking. Maybe he did, but because I haven't watched the full video, that is why I'm asking.
He never explained anything.
He never. Okay.
He never gave the reason why he did that.
He never gave any reason. Okay.
Yes, there was no reason. Even after the debate, he never gave a reason why he did that. No.
Okay.
He was even ashamed when his people questioned him. After when he did his post-debate, he was ashamed when they were questioning him, why didn't you give a presentation? He's saying today, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Then why will you make an agreement you cannot fulfill?
I heard him, he said, like, I heard him 2 times saying, the people will judge for themselves. You know, whenever you asked him, he said, the people will judge for themselves. I was like, what do you mean the people will judge for themselves? But, okay. But they said, they keep on saying you were struggling with the Arabic. What is that? Can you read that Arabic, the Hadith Arabic, or is there a problem with that?
I read it. When we were doing the debate, I actually read the Hadith. I read it in Arabic. But the point is, I'm the questioner. So I shouldn't be in the position to be told, read it.
Okay.
That was what the lesson I was trying to teach them at the debate. They didn't get the notion. So when you watch the debate, when I was reading the Quran, was it Chinese language I was reading?
No, that was Arabic. But what I have come to know that a lot of Muslims, they can read the Quran, Arabic Quran, but when you give them any other Quran, Arabic, it is difficult for them to read. They know the Arabic, the Arabic, the Quran Arabic, let's say like this, but they cannot read any other Arabic outside the Quran.
Because there's a difference, because that's why the Quran is a book for guidance. God made it clear. That's why it's called Mubin. It's a clear book. It gives you clarity. And the word Araba, when we say Araba, it means to express, to make something revealant, to make something clear for people to comprehend. That is what it means, Araba. So when God says Arabian, it's something which to give you clarity.
Okay.
That is what it means. So if God has chosen Arabic language to give you the Quran, Sethoo, and remember, it is for mankind. It is not only for the Arabs. Must God made it difficult for even other non-Arabs to know it?
No.
That is the point. But if you bring me Hadith book, even if it is Arabic language, you don't compare that Arabic language with the Quran. No scholar on earth can tell me the Arabic of the Hadith books they have can be matched with the Quran. It's impossible.
But are they the same? Are they the same?
They are not the same.
They are not the same. So the reading of the Arabic Quran is different from the reading of other Arabic, like the Hadith?
Siddik, the Hadith books, Siddik, Sethoo, the Hadith books they have, the number 1 book of the Hadith they use is Sahih Bukhari. Imam Bukhari came after 230 years after the Prophet. Did they live in the same generation?
No.
Did they live in the same century?
No.
No. It takes 100 years to make a century. So if somebody came 230 years after the Prophet, are we speaking the same language? Are we speaking the same structure of language?
Okay. So are you saying, Baba, are you saying you have no problem reading the Arabic, but you just didn't want to like be like their puppy, just because he commanded?
That is the point, because I was the one questioning him, and he wants to rather command me to do what he wants. So then I said, no, you rather read it. So I made him read it. As a punishment, I did it to him intentionally, and I made him read his own book. Because I was trying to tell him, your book is garbage. Why will I devote my time to even read? That's the initial point of my argument. So I even actually made him read his own book.
Okay.
And when I explain to the people, he refused. So how come you read your own book, but you don't want to explain?
Hey,
So does it make sense?
Yeah, I get your point. That is why I wanted to call you, so that maybe you can make, like, on a neutral platform, maybe people will get to hear from the other point, because maybe, let's say,
exactly,
maybe people will get to hear you from the other point, from my side or from another platforms.
Yeah, that was just the reason I refused to follow his instructions, because then I will look like a servant to him, commanding me, instructing me what to do. It was my turn to ask him a question. So I have to choose where I want to read and ask him the question. That's how it works. He doesn't have to tell me, oh, read from the beginning. Oh, read from here. So does he know the question I'm going to ask him?
No.
Or are we there to do reading competition?
But you see, that is what I don't understand. Some of them, they focus too much. They want to get you, like, catch you moment. Okay? They want...
Yes, 90% of the audience don't understand Arabic. I swear to God, the people who are watching us, 90% of them don't understand Arabic. So why are we there to keep reading Arabic for what? Then after reading, are you not going to explain?
Of course.
So if I have the explanation, why waste my time reading some garbage stories in Arabic?
You see, that is what I don't understand. When UTI Dawa he never reads any Arabic. He reads the English translation. The Hadith, he always read the English. Buhari always read the English. Fragrance, they always read the English translation. But when it comes to you,
Sethoo, those people are not scholars. They are comedians. Put them aside. If we are talking about scholars of Hadith or Islam, put those guys aside.
No, I'm just
comedians on the internet.
The double standard, the double standard, because they are demanding that you should read the Arabic. But whenever they are doing programs, they never read the Arabic. But they demand it from you.
That's the point.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I asked Siddik in the debate, Siddik, is there any rule that we stated down that when we come to the debate, by force, I must read Arabic? Then he said no.
Okay. So
then why should I waste my time reading something which is not part of the rules?
So both of you came up with the rules, right? And both of you agreed with the rules?
Yes, we both agreed with the rules.
And there was nothing in the rules that you have to read in Arabic?
No.
but you said,
no.
but in the debate, didn't you say something to the fact that whenever someone does a mistake, you have to correct the person?
Yes, that is a mistake. Listen, if I say mistake, meaning you are saying something, but you made a mistake. So let's say if the thing is white and you say blue, I have to correct you. That is the mistake there.
That one has nothing to do with Arabic. So it wasn't speaking about the Arabic.
Wait. It doesn't have to do with the reading in Arabic. That's what we intended.
Okay.
But if he's telling me you are not going to use translation, then how come when Siddik speaks about the verses in the Quran, he tried to explain in English?
Exactly. So why should I accept the translation of Siddik and not the translation of any other person?
That is the point.
I was trying to ask him this question yesterday too, because whenever you explain, you read in the Arabic, I cannot speak Arabic. You try to translate it to me. So you want me to depend on your translation. But why should I depend on yours and not the other one?
And mind you, Siddik is not a scholar in the Hadith field. Neither is he a scholar in the Quranic field. So he wants you to trust him. And he wants me, Baba Shuaib, to also trust him. And imagine, their top scholar, the Sunni's top scholar, who actually translate, the first person to actually translate the Sahih Bukhari books from Arabic to English is called Dr. Muhsin Khan.
Okay.
Yes. Siddik rejected him on the day of the debate. He said he doesn't agree with the translation. So now Siddik is trying to tell us he's the #1 scholar of English in the world who can translate Hadith books to English. But yet we have to reject the scholar which Saudi Arabia actually approved him to translate the Hadith books.
Amazing.
That's what Siddik did at the debate. So he made a mockery of their own scholar.
Okay, Baba, let me ask this one question too. Okay, was it why was Siddik the host at the same time? Was there was there any chance that nobody could host you or something like this? Why was Siddik the host?
Initially, he brought the idea that we should go on to UTI Dawa's page. And I said, how can I go to my enemy's page to do a debate?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Then he says, oh, the person will try to follow the rules. And I said, no. Then I would rather let you, Siddik, host me and try to see if you follow the rules or not.
Okay.
Do you see that where the idea came?
Yes.
And I know for a fact, all the sectarians, they are scared of my platform. Hands down. I'll tell you that. For a fact. If I tell any sectarian, come to Baba Shuaib, they are scared. So Siddik was rejecting to come to my platform.
Okay. But
so in order, if you have the truth, you are not scared where to go. You can go anywhere to go and face your enemy. If you have the truth. Just like Moses did. He went to the house of Pharaoh to face him, to challenge the magicians.
Okay.
You understand? So I had the truth. Then I said, Siddik, okay, I'll come to your platform. But then if I'm coming to your platform, then we have to do 2 programs. I'll come there and face you. After that, you have to come to my platform and let's do another program.
Oh, so there is a second debate coming on.
Exactly. That's what the agreement. I don't know now if he still stands with that. But that was the agreement. We will do first. I even have the audio recording of that conversation. Maybe later on, if you want, I will send it to you. I recorded that conversation for argument's sake because I know these people. They are manipulative and they can lie easily.
But didn't you set a date for both debates? Like, we will do this today? And
no, we only set for the first debate just to see how it will go.
So are you ready for the second debate?
If I'm not ready, will we talk about it?
I'm just asking. So that everybody listening to this will know that you are ready. So in case what you are saying, it was the agreement, then people will know for themselves, okay, Baba is ready. So I'm
always ready. So to me, I'm always ready.
And what is the second debate going to be about?
Is the Quran the only source of guidance in Islam, or does it have to be another book as well?
Okay. I didn't know this. I didn't know you had a agreement like you just said. You do it on his platform.
Well, yes, that is why it's good to call to ask and check up.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, but now
that was why I agreed to go to his platform, first of all. So I didn't go there because he has power over me or something. I even told him to do the presentation first. He denied. He refused to make the presentation first.
If this was really the agreement that you are going to be on his platform and then he is going to be on your platform, then he should have gone first because that is his platform.
Exactly. That he rejected. I told him, you are the host. You have to do introduction. You have to do presentation first because you are the host. And he rejected. He said no.
Because that's why he wanted to depend on your presentation so that you have something to say. That is my assumption.
Exactly. He has an agenda. So imagine if I do the same to him on my show.
Yeah, but now that has to be the case anyway, because when he comes to your show, if he comes, let's say if he comes, he has to also present his case first before you present yours. That would be fair.
Obviously, because I suggested, he rejected. He got angry, he even insulted me. I have the audio conversation. He insulted me when I suggested, Siddik, since you are the host, you have to start first. Siddik says, who said I should start first? Why should I start first? According to who? I'm not starting first. You, Baba Shuaib, have to start first. I was like, oh my God, Siddik, we are just trying to make an agreement. We are not fighting. Just an agreement. The guy got offended. He said the demand I'm making is just like a madman throwing something at you and then telling you are a madman.
Okay. So are you going to contact him for the second debate? Because now it is your duty to do so, right?
No. It's not my duty. I'm damaging him outside. Seriously. Yesterday I did a program. You see how the damage control I'm doing for him?
So what are you expecting that he's going to call you for the second debate?
Yes, I have to crash him in the rebuttal. I'm doing a rebuttal. That's the post-debate review.
Okay.
I'm exposing all his secrets, all his lies. After I'm done with that, it will strike him to the core. He will step out again.
Okay. I just hope this debate comes on, okay?
And that will be the end of... this is even already the end of Siddik, but that will be the end of Siddik.
But that would, the Muslims, they are already praising him, how good he did, how everyone is praising the guy.
Sethoossk, please don't say Muslims. It's the mushriks praising him, please.
You see that you just called it, because now I cannot, as a believer too, I have to be like neutral, because now I am also.
No, Sethoossk, I'm telling you, I'm in that zone, and I'm telling you, somebody who is following the Quran is telling you who is not a Muslim.
But they will say the same thing about you too. You see, that's the thing. That's why I have to.
I'm using the Quran to judge them. What are they using to judge me?
They will say they are using the Quran and the Sunnah. You see, that is the whole point about.
So that is why I said they are mushriks, because God never gave us Quran and Sunnah. There is no one single verse where God says He gave believers Quran and Sunnah to follow. Yes,
okay.
It doesn't exist in the Quran. So whose book are they using to judge me?
All I'm saying, Baba, is, from my standpoint at the moment, I'm just going to be like neutral and then give them that, because they say they are Muslims, I'll just call them Muslim. I'm not going to stop you for calling them what you call them, because you can defend yourself. Because if I call them mushrik, and then I'm not going to be able to defend myself, because they say they believe in the Quran and the Hadith, and that makes them Muslims. You see the point? So
no, I understand your point, Sethoossk. I'm the one only saying that they are mushriks. I didn't say you should call them mushriks also. No.
Okay. So in the debate, right? This you asked about the breastfeeding.
Yes.
Remember, you asked this about the breastfeeding, and I think if I speak like it sounds like I am backing you up, okay, but it's not. I'm just saying the truth, how I perceive things. It's not like I am in your favor, or even though I like your teachings more, but I am not doing this to favor you, because I don't think you need my help. You do whatever you want to do on your own. But you asked the question. The question that you were asking was, where can we find this 5 times breastfeeding, because the 10 times was abrogated. Can you state the question one more time? Maybe if you state the question one more time, and then we can check for the answer that he gave.
The question was based on the hadith. He didn't even answer, but I'll tell you the question. The question was very clear, because I'll be doing a program today, this night, on that. And I'll be showing that evidence. When I asked him the question, he deflated the question, or he deviated the question, diverting it away, and then twisting my question around. According to the hadith, the Nana Aisha, who they claim is the wife of the Prophet, is saying that the verses in the Quran, there is a revelation. That concerning this breastfeeding, 10 times breastfeeding was revealed earlier on. Then it was later on abrogated and replaced by 5 breastfeedings of a person. Right? So then I said, Siddik, based on this hadith, I'm asking you a question. If Nana Aisha says this was revealed in the Quran, if you, Siddik, claim that the Quran is complete and is full, how come we don't find that verse in the Quran? If actually it was revealed in the Quran, where is it?
Exactly.
And if it is not in the Quran, and you claim, Siddik, that verse was revealed but it's not in the Quran, and you accept it's not in the Quran, that means the Quran is not complete. That makes you a kafir. So then, Siddik, I said, answer the question. Then he came, he says, okay, you mentioned the word adult. Where does he say adult? And I'm like, Siddik, that is not the question here. The question is, we are talking about revelation. Nana Aisha is saying, then he keeps saying, you mentioned the word adult. Show me where it says adult.
But the truth is, in context, the breastfeeding is an adult is involved.
Yes.
But
there's a further explanation, because before I question him, I mentioned the references for the hadith. I mentioned about 2 or 3 references. I didn't only mention one reference number. Then he asked me to read and ask him the question. So because of time, I need to choose one of the hadiths and read the question read the question I want to ask him. So he deviated my question and then started asking me a question. Where does it say an adult? So in that instance, who has to be the one to ask a question? Is it me or Siddik who is asking a question?
It was your time to ask the question, and it was his time to answer.
Exactly. That is the point. And he even lied. He says, I say old people. Where does it say old? I asked him, did I say old? And then he said, Wallah, you said old. He even lied again by swearing. And God says, do not call his name in vain. Yeah.
Okay. So
then I was shocked.
So for the people...
Then I said, Siddik, you are not even answering my question.
So let me just try to bring it to my level of understanding, okay? So the people maybe watching too will get what I mean. According to a hadith, Aisha, was saying there was a revelation, which was revealed, which means there was a Quran verse which says you can breastfeed somebody 10 times.
Yes.
And then that 10 times was abrogated. And then it became 5 times. And then according to that hadith, it's a revelation. So it's supposed to be in the Quran.
Exactly.
But right now, the Quran that we have today, there is nothing like this about breastfeeding somebody 5 times. There's nothing like this.
Exactly. It's not there.
It's not there. So if you accept the hadith, then it is telling you the Quran that they have is not full. Something is missing.
Yes, exactly. That is my question.
That
was my question. Then he deviated my question and started saying, you said adults. Once he knows the context, if I go to the next hadith, the context was there. So if you remember on the debate, I scrolled down, and I showed the people where it says Rajulun Kabir, meaning a grown person.
Man.
You should breastfeed a grown person.
And then he told you to give it away. He said put it away. Bring the first one.
Put it away.
Okay.
He was scared.
Okay.
And we were supposed to do cross-examination. At that time, when you answer my question, after that, I have to be given 2 minutes to bring a new light. When we say cross-examination, after you bring your case as a witness, I have to re-examine your answer by bringing a new evidence, a new light. That is what cross-examination means. So everybody who is listening to this audio, kindly search the word cross-examination. So me, the one who is who is going to go against your evidence, I have to now bring a new light.
Okay.
To show the people that Siddik, you lied. And Siddik didn't allow me to bring that new light. He didn't allow me to use the 2 minutes. So that is why I also stopped him from using 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Because so about the 5 times breastfeeding that is supposed to be in the Quran, he never gave you an answer to that one, or did he?
No, he never answered that.
He never answered that. He never told you where the verses are, if it is still there, if it's not there.
He never showed.
He never showed.
No, because according to them, abrogation doesn't mean something doesn't exist in the Quran. It's still there, but it's not in use. Yeah. So if it's still there, show me where it is written. He didn't show me where it's written. And if it's abrogated, how?
Yeah, because we can find the verse.
He went out of equation and quoted the verse, chapter 4, verse, I think, 23 or 22. He quoted something out of the equation, which has nothing to do with my question.
I know what you mean. He quoted something. That's what I don't understand. You know, when I was listening to the debate, and then some of them, they come with their own preconceived ideas. They come because they don't like you, so they will just support whoever is going against you.
Exactly. Okay. Yes, that's the point. That's why you see the mushrik supporting him.
So whatever answer he gives, and then they proud themselves or they boast with the Arabic language, you know. So they always try to use some Arabic words just to make the people believe in them what they are saying. But the question that you just asked, and then the answer that you got or you received, it wasn't the same. It totally different.
It wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same.
No,
okay.
And just so you should know, Siddik stand publicly to reject their scholar who translated the hadith. And when I'm talking about Muhsin Khan is a prominent person which all over the world people know. He even translated the Quran from Arabic to English, and he also translated the Sahih al-Bukhari. He is the first in the world to translate Sahih Bukhari books from Arabic to English. And Saudi Arabia approves this guy as a learned person. So when we say scholar, this Siddik is even rejecting him as a scholar, because when we say scholar, is by gaining mastery for a long period of time in a particular field, being a learned person. So if I'm not learned, can I translate a book?
No.
That is the point.
Okay.
So Siddik sat in the public to reject this man and yet bring a meaning your scholars have translated. He rejected to bring any scholar that in history that he, Siddik, approves. He didn't bring anyone to support his claim. But yet, every time he sits on the platform, he tells people, let's follow the scholars. Let's take what the scholars say. So which scholars, Siddik? Which ones?
You see, yesterday when I was speaking with him, he also mentioned that there is one scholar who was in USA, and then he has passed away. He's dead. And I was asking him, so if this scholar, let's say he wrote a book, and then he put his thoughts in a book. If somebody is following that book, is it accepted? And then he was hesitating to say yes. You see, I don't understand. He considered him to be scholar, but when I said let's say he wrote something about the Quran or something, and I tried to use that whatever he wrote as my source, will that be accepted? He was then hesitating. Now he said that I don't know. He don't know if he's a scholar, but his student told him that he was a scholar. I said, what? So you are telling me what his students told you?
You could have asked Siddik that what make the guy a scholar, with which criteria?
He said his students told him that. Okay.
Look at the stupidity. How can your students decide if you are a scholar?
No,
it is another learned person who has to listen to you and classify you as a scholar. You understand? If, let's say, you go to American Idol or X Factor, or you are going to give football awards, are you going to bring somebody who has no idea about football to give you awards?
No.
You bring somebody who knows more about football to be able to judge and say, okay, this guy is a scholar, or this guy is a footballer, or this guy is a musician. That's what you do.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the student, by which grade is he going to analyze and say you are a scholar?
Yeah, because most of the students, they respect their teachers anyway, and they put their teachers in a higher level position. Maybe the teacher is not even a scholar, but because he's a student, because UTI Dawa, this UTI Dawa guy, he has students, and their students respect him. His students respect him and sees him as somebody knowledgeable. This
comedian.
Yeah, I tell you.
Is he not a dancehall artist?
Yeah, that Rasta man. He used to be a Rasta man, a dancehall artist. Yes. His student sees him as somebody, a very knowledgeable person.
I will be Moshe's best friend.
Okay. Wow. So so after the debate ended, okay, did you have a conversation with Siddik after the debate ended? Have you spoken with him?
No conversation. No, we didn't speak. No conversation.
You haven't spoken since then?
Yeah, because after the debate, the next day he did a post-debate review. He did a post-debate, right?
Okay.
So later on, somebody shared it to me, and I just started watching. When I saw Hafiz join, I started laughing. I'm like, look, another comedian joining him. So then I stopped watching. Then some people started sending me message. Are you not going to do a post-debate review? I kept watching. I said, no, don't worry. I'll do it. Right? So normally when I do debates, for anybody who have watched my programs, whenever I do debate, I don't just come out straight not to go and do post-debate. I wait 2-3 days or 4 days to do my review. The reason is I have to give the chance for the debate to trend. Yes. So that to see who is on my side and who is against me. That's how I allow this in between. Because when you are quick to come and explain yourself, it means you want people to just listen to you so fast and then say, oh, you are right, you are right.
Okay.
You have to give room for people to pass on their judgment. Just like I saw you, Sethoo, you give a review on the presentation, and then you saw a video. So I saw the video, and I even shared it.
Oh, okay.
Because this is what I want. I want other people to give their point of views first before I come and do review. So that was why I did my review on yesterday. I
see. Yeah, as I said, I was under the debate. I've watched like 85 to 90%. I've watched. Okay, only maybe the last minutes that I have not yet. I haven't watched it. So I know most of the debate. I've listened to a lot of them, and then as I'm saying, a lot of people who were under the comment section, they were not even listening to the question and then the answers they are getting. A lot of them, they are there just to make propaganda. Okay. I hope, were you looking at the comments when you were at the debate? Were you looking at the comments?
No, not really. I don't pay attention to comments when I'm in the battlefield.
Okay.
Because comments will distract you.
Exactly. And that was their whole point. They are not listening to whatever you are saying. They are just trying to confuse people or like they will be typing certain things so that maybe if you watch it will provoke you or it will make you lose focus.
Yeah. It was only when it got to the last part when the audience have to ask us questions. That was the only time I was reading comments. I never read comments.
I wrote one comment and Siddik read it. Did you notice? He never mentioned the name. He didn't say my name, but he read it out loud. I said, one of these guys is defending Allah and one of them is defending Sahih Buhari.
Yeah, I saw that part. He read it out.
He,
Yes,
he
yes.
read it out. I was the one who wrote it.
I saw that part. When he read that one, I was laughing. I was like, this guy thought the comment was in his favor.
No, but we all know who is defending who. Okay, so I'm saying you,
of course.
you are defending the Quran, and these guys are seriously. But I don't understand. But the other, in my video that I did, okay, I posted this hadith, which was saying about Ummah, which was talking about Ummah saying the hadith of the Quran is sufficient for us.
Yes.
Okay, so I was asking Siddik yesterday too about this hadith, but he brushed it off a little bit. He never wanted to go deep inside. I was saying, is Ummah at that time thinking like Baba Shuaib thinking today? Because Ummah said the book of Allah is enough, sufficient. So we don't want Prophet Muhammad to write anything for us. And then that's exactly what you are saying today too, that the book of Allah is sufficient. But he was like, no, it's not the same. You are Ummah was a Muslim, but you are not a Muslim. He said something to that effect.
Yeah, so now you see why I call them mushriks, because he is trying to use the hadith to judge me by saying I'm not a Muslim. What is the criteria of a Muslim? Somebody who submits his will to God.
He gave this, and then he said that is not all. That is part of it. He said it yesterday. That is part of it, but that is not all. Exactly what you were just saying.
He used his opinion.
No, yes, that is why, because they accept the hadith. And then he said, yes, it is one part of it for being a Muslim, but the other part is that you have to say Prophet Muhammad is the Prophet of Allah, and this and that. The rest, you cannot only just be a Muslim.
You see how they're mistaking belief for submitting? Sethoossk, it's just when we say submitting to God, it's just like when you have done a crime and the police officer will see you and say surrender, hands up. Then you lift up your hands. Willingly or unwillingly, you have to lift up your hands.
Okay.
That is what we call submit. If you go to Quran chapter 3 verse 83 and chapter 3 verse 85, it is there. Submitting to God can be done willingly or unwillingly. Do you understand?
Okay.
But when we say belief is now you now have to use your own mind and heart to check something and put your faith there. So you can believe in the messenger, believe in the books of God, believe in the angels, believe in God. You understand? Believe in things you have never seen with your eyes. This is called faith. That is different from submit. If you submit to God, it means you know there's a power who is controlling you. You know there's a power who is stronger than you controlling your life. That is to submit to that will of the power. Just like police officers are put in authority, when they say surrender, you are submitting willingly or unwillingly to the authority of the police because you know he's powerful than you.
Oh, yeah, but so that would be your definition for a Muslim, right?
According to the Quran, just like Abraham was told, Quran chapter 2 verse 131. So everything I say, I can give you evidence from the book of God.
I get that point.
When they talk, can they give you evidence?
If they depend on the hadith, okay, as I'm saying, I don't know all the hadith, and then they will say,
there's the hadith they use, but that's the book which is not approved by God. Siddik couldn't prove to us whether God approves the hadith.
No, okay, but what about because I started asking these questions, okay? Me as a Christian, as I told you already, I'm a Christian, okay, and I believe in one God, and the God that I believe in is not the same as the God that you believe in, okay? Because I believe in the Trinity, so. But we still believe that our God is one. Are we considered as Muslims too? Because we believe in one, we submit our way to one God, which is the God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Would that mean we are Muslims, or the Jews? Let's say the Jews. Okay, let me use the Jews as an example, because they believe in one God, as you also confirm. Are the Jews Muslims, according to you?
The word Muslim is a Romanized word. The word Muslim is carried from Arabic word, which is Muslim, to submit. When you bring it to English, it means submit.
Okay.
Who do you submit to? That's the question.
Exactly.
If you tell me you submit to God, automatically you are a Muslim.
Okay.
That is the understanding there. So Muslim is not like a word. It was only coined in English as to modernize it to mean like an English word. It's not an English word. It's in the word Islam. It's not an English word.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which God. If you submit to God, and then maybe...
It matters. Quran chapter 2, verse 62. God talks about the Jews, the Christians, the believers who believe in Allah. It says Allah. And when you go to the Quran, chapter 112, verse 1 to verse 4, it tells you, Kul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid, walam yulad, walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So, Sethoo, I just read Arabic. Assuming if I don't want to translate to you, can you know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, so now I'm going to tell you. Quran chapter 112, verse 1 to verse 4. It says, say, he God is one, the everlasting God. He does not beget, nor was he begotten. And there is none equal to him, or none can be compared to him. Now, this is the concept of Allah that the Quran is talking about. So if you believe, if you submit to this entity, that makes you a Muslim.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, so for being a Muslim, you have to submit to Allah, and Allah has given you who He is. Like, Allah is one; He does not beget. There is nothing compared to Him. Like you just read Quran chapter 112.
Exactly.
So if me as a Christian, if I also believe in God, okay, I also believe in God, but we have a different concept of God, and our God is still one at the end. Does that make me a Muslim, or does it disqualify me as a Muslim? Because the God that I believe in...
the Quran is used to be a criterion. A criterion is something which differentiates between wrong and right. So I have to use the Quran to analyze your claim. That's by saying we believe in this. It's just like you tell me we are married to the same wife. I have to cross-check and ask you, the wife you have, does she have a trademark here on her chest?
Okay.
Does she have something like this? As soon as everything checks up correctly, then it means we have married to the same wife.
Exactly. So if something differs, that's the point I'm trying to make, Baba. If something differs, okay, that means we are not worshiping the same. That's not the same God. That would disqualify me to be a Muslim, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That is according to the Quran. I'm only analyzing according to the Quran.
And that's what I'm trying to make the people understand, that because for saying believing in one God, okay, the God is a title, right? It's just a title for the creator. But you have to know the God. Which God are you talking about?
Exactly. You have to know. Exactly.
You have to know which God you're talking about. And that will then make you a Muslim.
Exactly. If you Quran chapter 47, verse 19, God says you should have to know that there is only one God. There is no other God but Him. You have to know. He didn't say just believe. You have to know. Chapter 47, verse 19. You can write it down and check it.
I've written a lot of Quran verses here. Okay, so I will just because you said Quran chapter 7 verse 157, Quran chapter 55 verse 1 to 4, Quran chapter 75 verse 16 to 19, Quran chapter 7 verse 39, Quran chapter 3 verse 85, Quran chapter 2 verse 62, Quran chapter 112 verse Surah to Ikhlas. You just read all of them. Quran chapter 47 verse 19. Yes. I've noticed something here.
And don't forget, I'm even at work that I'm paying attention and giving you all these references.
Are you saying you are not even looking on your computer right now? This is all
nothing. I'm on my phone talking to you, Sethoo.
Are you a Hafiz? Are you a Hafiz?
People who know, I'm Hafiz when it comes to the subjects, discussions, topics in the Quran, verse numbers, references. If I'm listening to a scholar and he quotes a verse and he's lying, I can show you the verse and I show you the message in that verse, and if he's lying or not, I can tell you. And in the Quran, from A to Z, nowhere did God say any servant should become an Hafiz of the Quran. It's not your duty. It is the duty of the angels. Yes.
Okay, Baba, we have spoken. We have spoken like 54 minutes right now. Okay. 54 minutes right now. I don't want it to take your time too long because I know you are at work right now. Okay. I was speaking with when I was speaking with Siddik yesterday. We spoke about Quran. I asked him about this Quran chapter 14, verse number 4, about the message coming in our language. Okay. What is your response to this? Because I want to see how you also explain this verse to us.
Oh no, Quran chapter 14, verse 4. God says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانٍ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ. It says, we do not send a messenger except in the language or in the tongue of his people, so that he may be clarified for them. Listen, so that he may clarify. It doesn't say he sent a book in their language. Neither does it say he sent a prophet. He used the word messenger. And the duty of a messenger is not the same as the duty of a prophet. They are two different duties.
Okay.
So Sethoo, right now, if I send you and I say, Sethoo, please go to Siddik and tell him so and so, what do you become at that moment?
A messenger.
A messenger. So if God is sending somebody with a message, it doesn't necessarily mean that has to be in a book. He can go and tell people in their own tongue so that they will understand what he's trying to say.
Okay.
So I can take from the Quran and be a messenger who has to deliver a message to particular people in Ghana, but I'm clarifying a point in their own language that they can understand me.
Okay.
I don't need to be a prophet to do that.
I get the point.
So Quran, this prophecy can be found in Quran chapter 10, verse 46 to verse 49. Messengers will still come after Prophet Muhammad. Nowhere in the Quran does it say last messenger, but instead you find the seal of the prophet. Quran chapter 33, verse 40. It says Muhammad is the seal of the prophets, but not the seal of the messengers. There's a difference between the word prophet and the word messenger. If you want to know, go to Quran chapter 22, verse 52. There's two differences. They are not the same.
Quran chapter what? Quran chapter 2?
Quran chapter 22, verse 52.
Okay. Wait, hold on, small. Hold on. Baba. I appreciate what you are saying here. So now, according to Quran chapter 14, your answer is, it didn't say prophet, it said messenger. And as a messenger, everybody can be a messenger. So like you just gave an example. When you send me to say something to Siddik, I am being a messenger right now. So
yes.
So if the Quran, which came in Arabic, and it came so that Prophet Muhammad may make it clear to his people, right? Hello? Okay, Baba Shuaib, it has disconnected, or I think he has when you call, okay, I think he has received a call or something like this. Okay, he's still on the line. So please take this opportunity, like the videos for us, like it, share it. And then let's wait till Baba comes back, okay? Are you back?
I'm here.
Okay. It disconnected a little bit.
Maybe the network issue, yeah.
Okay. So what you are saying is the Quran came in Arabic so that Prophet Muhammad may make it clear for his people, right?
Yes, because God made the Quran easy in his own language. Chapter 44, verse 58.
Okay.
So that if Prophet Muhammad is going to maybe clarify for his people in their own tongue, it will be easy for them to understand.
Okay. So the message of the Quran is supposed to be is the Quran is for mankind, right?
Yes, it's for mankind.
It's for mankind.
God chose that particular form of Arabic language. It doesn't belong to any people. That Arabic inside the Quran, Saudi Arabia cannot say is theirs, Egypt cannot say is theirs, Syria cannot say is theirs, Iraq cannot say is theirs. That one is specially from God. Okay, so will the message come to me as a Ghanaian in my language or in an Arabic language? No, the message of the Quran is already in Arabic language. I already told you the meaning of the word Araba. Okay. Then, in your own country, you get a messenger who will understand the message of the Quran, and he will now clarify to you in your language. Yeah, but then they say you should go and learn Arabic. They always say you have to learn. No, not you. No, not you. I'm saying God would choose a messenger. Is God choosing messengers, so not people? Okay. Quran chapter 7, verse 35. You can check it. Write it down and check it later. Quran chapter 7, verse 35. Okay, but I want to, because how I understand these verses, and we it's on the screen right now, okay, and we did not send any messenger except, okay, the we is Allah, right? We stands for Allah, and we did not send any messenger, including Prophet Muhammad, because he's the one who is bringing this message, so he's part of the messengers, except in the language of his people. So the messenger will come in the language of the people that he knows, his people. They speak the same language. But does it say the book? No. The messenger will bring the message. Good. So the messenger, yes. Okay, so the messenger, except speaking in the language of his people, to state clear for them, or the clearly for them. Exactly. Okay, so we as Ghanaians, if the message of Allah is coming to us, is it supposed to come in what language? Like me as an Ashanti guy. Remember, we are not talking about the message. We are talking about the messenger. He can be Ashanti telling you the same message of the Quran, but in Ashanti language. Exactly. That's what I mean.
So when the messenger is coming, the messenger who is bringing me the message of God, of Allah, is he going to bring it in my language or in another language?
The language you understand.
The language...
He's not bringing a book. He's not going to bring a book. Listen carefully. When we say a messenger, somebody who has a message to deliver to you in your own language.
Exactly. Okay.
That's what I mean. It's not like he's going to bring a new book and say, oh, look, God has given me a new book. I'm bringing it to you. No.
Yeah, okay. I still, maybe I'm too slow to understand this. Maybe I'm too slow.
Sethoossk, let's say Baba Shuaib, I understand the Quran in Tree language, right?
Okay.
In Tree language. So let's say I can. So I go to Ghana. Whatever I know from the Quran in my head, then I keep speaking in Tree to somebody.
Okay.
At that moment, I'm delivering God's message to the person. So since I'm a vessel of the message and I'm giving him in the Tree language, what do I become in that moment?
A messenger.
Yes, because it's a message of God I'm delivering in my own language to my people. So that makes you the messenger, not a prophet. Remember, the verse doesn't say prophet.
Okay, I get it. But so now, if you deliver the message, and then of course people want to write it down, they want a copy, they want a book, so that they can go back and check references and stuff like this. And in what language would that book be in?
It has to always be in the original source it came from. The original source is what will show if the messenger who came to deliver the message is a liar or not. That is why God gave chapter 4, verse 82.
Okay.
Do they not contemplate the Quran? Had it been from other than God, they would have found there in numerous discrepancies or contradictions.
Yeah, but then, okay, we will go back to the same point. Then, so we will depend on the Arabic, because when you come and tell me about the message of God as a messenger, you spoke with your mouth. Now I have to go, if I want to go and cross-reference or check what you were saying is true, I have to go and learn the Arabic, because it's not my language.
Not you.
But
if you have to cross-check, you have to be a learned person to cross-check something, right? So now, this is the example. The Constitution of Ghana, we have over 56 or how many languages in Ghana? A lot, right?
Yes.
But what is the official language of Ghana?
I think they use English.
Good. So in our Constitution, we use English language. Yes. Are you telling me all the Ghanaians in Ghana speak English?
No.
No, we have people in the villages. So now, if we want to go and give those people in the villages the message of the Constitution, what are we going to do?
Now, you bring it in the language that they understand.
Exactly. But now, if they want to now say, hey, let's go and cross-check. Where do they have to go and cross-check?
In the original Constitution.
Exactly. So then they have to take somebody who is also learned among them, or who can also cross-check, who has the capacity to cross-check something. So that is why Quran chapter 49 verse 6, it says, when an immoral person brings you an information or a news, you have to investigate. So somebody brings you a news, you don't trust him, because you think it's an immoral. You have to go investigate.
Yeah, okay. But the thing is here, if Allah is the one saying here, the message is coming in my language. The Constitution analogy you just gave, it makes sense, okay? Because if the villager or if someone in the village doesn't speak English or don't understand English, or let's say if Sethoo, I don't understand English, somebody tells me something, and I want to go and check the person, I will go with somebody who knows English, so that the person may confirm it for me, the one that I trust. But when it comes to this verse here, there is Allah speaking, and Allah is saying the message will come in my language so that it will make things clear for me, so that I will understand.
No, he didn't say the message.
The messenger, but the messenger is coming with the message, right?
Yes, message from God, and I already told you where we can find the source of the message. It's in the Quran.
It's in the Quran, yes, but that's what I mean. So the messenger is coming with the message of God, Allah, to me. So when it comes
in your own language,
in my own language, yes, in my own language. So when it comes with the message of God in my own language, and then now I don't trust him, or I think maybe he's trying to, like, UTA Dawa comes with this message. I know he's a liar, he's deceiving me. So now I want to cross-reference him. But now he said, okay, then I have to go and find somebody who speaks the original language, then I can check it. So
no, not necessarily speaking the original language. The Quranic language is unlike the ones the Arabs are speaking there. Even the one they created as Fusha, they copied it from the Quran. The Quranic Arabic is the original one coming from God. It's unlike the ones the Arabians are speaking today.
Okay. There
are different versions and dialects in Arabic language. the modern standard, they have what they call the MSA, which is the modern standard, which is now used everywhere, like in the basic form. Then we have the Fusha. Fusha was created after the Quran. Fusha was not there before Quran came.
Okay.
So now is the Quran, which is the epitome of Arabic language. No Arabic dialects or no Arabic language written there can supersede the Quran.
Okay, but I asked, yes. When I was speaking with Siddik yesterday, he also asked this question. Okay, it was a very interesting question, a good question to my opinion. He said because you don't accept the hadith because it has been transmitted, or the isnad, the chains of narration is like people have been transmitted it for so long, so you think there could be mistakes in it or some stuff like this. But the Quran itself too was the Hafs, because you follow more of the Hafs Quran. So why do you accept the Hafs Quran? Because that also has been
I don't follow Hafs Quran. Sethoo, Baba Shuaib has translated the Quran or not?
Yes, you have.
So if somebody gives you my Quran, my version of the Quran, and then when you are reading from my translation, if the person asks you which Quran are you using, what will you tell him?
Baba Shuaib's.
Does that mean I received it in the first place as a revelation? Does that mean that is my own special version and that is not the word of God?
No, that is not the case now. No.
So that's the example. The one which came through my hands is passed through me. The people gave it the name and said, this is Baba Shuaib's Quran. But does that mean Baba Shuaib actually invented a Quran? No. It is just having my copy with my name on it. That's all. The Arabic words are still the words of God. But it is my name which signifies that this passed through me. And that's why people will say Baba Shuaib's version.
No, I think the point that he was making was the Quran when the Quran was revealed, you were not there. Okay, you also have to depend on people who have preserved the Quran to date. So those people,
I don't depend.
So that is the point. So that's the case that he's making. So how do you know the Quran that you hold right now? It's supposed to be 114 chapters and not more.
Okay, good. First of all, when you take Quran, chapter 17, verse 36, it says, وَلَا تَخَفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ. It says, do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. If you don't have knowledge about something, don't follow it. That's what God says, not me.
Okay.
It's what God says. وَلَا تَخَفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ. Then Quran chapter 4, verse 82 says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Do they not contemplate the Quran? وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجِدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Do they not contemplate the Quran? Had it been from other than God, they would have found there in numerous discrepancies. It will take you to have knowledge. Now, if I'm curious, I want to know, did God actually reveal such a book? So what do I have to do?
You have to check if there are contradictions. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, not only contradiction, discrepancies. Discrepancies is that something doesn't make sense. It's not up to date. It's twisted up. So now I came and met a Quran. This one is say Al-Duri. This one is say Warsh. This one is say Hafs. I have to compare, investigate which one is actually the word of God.
Okay.
Remember, Quran chapter 49 verse 6 says, when an immoral person brings you a news or information, what do you have to do?
Investigate.
Good. So since I have knowledge, God has given me the capacity, Baba Shuaib, to investigate, compare. Which one are the people calling halves? Did God actually reveal halves? No, Quran doesn't say he revealed halves. Neither does it say he revealed Warsh. Neither does it say he revealed Al-Duri and so on. Neither does it say he revealed a Baba Shuaib version. So you the one checking with knowledge. You have to investigate what you can see. If you see contradiction, that cannot be the word of God. If you see a discrepancy, that cannot be the word of God. So this is the standard you use to check.
Yeah, but the thing is, Baba, even though you don't, let's say, okay, because I'm not here to debate you right now, so let me just go with you right now. Let's say there is no contradictions in the Quran, but how do you know the Quran ends at 114? There still could be more.
The Quran speaks for itself. It has been consistent throughout history. So if you have any Quran which has 115 chapters, I'm waiting, bring it. If you have any Quran which has 120 chapters, I'm waiting, still bring it. It doesn't exist. They all have 114 chapters.
No, but you see, there is if you follow the hadith, the hadith, okay, the hadith.
I don't follow hadith.
That is
God never. The Quran itself. Listen, Sethoo. Quran chapter 45, verse 6 to verse 8. Quran itself is asking you, in which hadith after God and His verses will you believe? So why should I waste my time going to a book God never approves?
Yeah.
That will make me a hypocrite if I go to the hadith. Sethoo, if you go to the court, are you the one going to speak for yourself, or somebody else have to speak for you?
Yeah, you have a lawyer, yeah?
No. Is it you when you stand in the box?
Okay.
That box they put you in to speak. Are you going to speak for yourself or somebody else?
No, you speak for yourself.
Good. So if the Quran is here as a proof for mankind and it's here to guide people, is it the one supposed to speak for itself, or does somebody have to speak for him?
In the logical sense, yeah, the Quran itself.
Good. So then God is telling me the Quran is here to speak for itself. So must I need the answers outside the Quran?
No, but you see, let me say, do you know Rashad Khalifa?
I know him.
He also translated the Quran, and his Quran is a little bit different. Did you know that?
You say, did you see the word you used? You said he translated the Quran. So now he's using his translation.
Yes. But he didn't have the same verses, the same verses like you have, or he
had the same verses, but he used a mathematical code to remove 2 verses from chapter 9, which I don't agree with him.
Okay, that is, you see now. So now there is another one who also is claiming that Quran chapter. He never. Rashad Khalifa also is claiming, I think verse number 1 is not part of the Quran or something like this.
No, he didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
Verse chapter 9, verse 128 and 129. That's the one he says is not part of the Quran. But that is his opinion. What did I tell you? If an immoral person brings you an information, what do?
You said you examine it, but on what?
Yes.
What category?
So when I examine it, listen. When I examine it, the Quran is telling me in Quran chapter 41, verse 2, no falsehood will enter the Quran from the front and back. And then Quran chapter 56, verse 77 to verse 78, God is telling me the book is a protected book.
Baba,
Quran chapter 15, verse 9, God is telling me the remembrance in the Quran will be preserved.
Baba, I am not. As I'm saying, I don't want to come off as if I'm debating you or I'm trying to.
Okay.
But I'm just giving you another. You see, whatever you are saying, it could be true. But what if Rashad Khalifa is also true? His is true, and then they have added two verses to it.
Now you are using what if, and I said I've investigated Rashad Khalifa. His is not true.
Okay. People may judge for themselves. So, according to Quran chapter 9, verse 100, according to the Quran that is there today, Quran chapter 9, it ends at what? How many verses are there?
6,236 verses.
Now, Quran chapter 9 alone.
Chapter 9, it ends as 129.
129. You see, but in Rashad Khalifa's own ends at 127.
Exactly. He took it off.
He took 2 verses off, okay?
Remember, I used the word he took them off.
Yeah.
He took them off. Was it God who took it off? No.
Yeah, but the one that you are saying, it is the one that you think God, how do you know God added it? That's what I mean.
Because I checked it. Listen, God says if it is not from God, what will you find inside? You find contradiction or discrepancies.
But
I've checked the Quran, the one I have, I don't see any discrepancy or contradiction. So what should I doubt?
No, okay. And maybe people may understand what I'm trying to say.
That is my point.
Okay.
The moment I see any doubt, I will come out more than even Abraham Bimushi and throw the book away and tell you, hey, this book is garbage.
Okay, Baba Shuaib.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I see contradictions, I'll come about. You have to do it based on knowledge. You don't just get up and say, look, I see No. You have to make thorough analysis. Investigation before you draw a conclusion. Yes.
Baba Shuaib, let me say it like this, okay? Since I am now a Christian, okay? I'm now a Christian. I have a different view of the Quran. I have the different view of the Bible, okay? So what you just said right now, maybe one day we can have a conversation together, just like you had with we can have a conversation together, and then I will represent the Bible, and maybe you represent the Quran, and then we can have a conversation together and see if the God of Abraham. We'll just start with the God of Abraham because that's what you believe in, right?
Okay.
But how do you know the God of Abraham? Baba Shuaib, no, don't answer this question because it's not about you. I'm not here to. I'm sorry. Don't answer. Don't answer. That is not the time here. That's not the time here.
So don't worry. I will not answer.
Don't answer anything here, okay? Because I'm not here to. It's about the debate that you had, okay? Baba Shuaib, we have spoken 1 hour 15 minutes. 1 hour 15 minutes, okay?
Yes, I think now it should be okay.
It should be okay. I'm saying the time so that people may know that I haven't edited anything out, and then I've added something in, so that people may know that too. I'm trying to let everybody knows. Do you want to say something to the people before we end the conversation? Everybody, maybe you have a message.
I just want to say thank you to people who are being honest when they are listening to my lectures, regardless of them being Christians, Jews, atheists, agnostic, whatever they are. I like their honesty. Of course, I know people will be dishonest. I know not everybody will love you or like what you do. But you don't have to look at them. Keep doing what you're doing. So far as it's the right thing you're doing, God will show up at the right time and you have the right support from different angles. You understand? So I represent the truth. And people who know me, even if they don't agree with me, they know what I stand for. Even you, Sethoo, you know what I stand for. So this is how I do my things. And that is why people like me, they appreciate me, they love me. And this is all God's doing. Because God says, whoever supports God, God will support him. In Quran chapter 22, verse 40, right? God supports those who support him. And I do support God, so God will support me eventually. Quran chapter 3, verse 160, it says, if he supports you, none can defeat you. And then that is what we are seeing. People are not able to defeat me because I stand for the truth, right? The only time I'll be going against myself is when I'm being untruthful to myself. So, Sethoo, that's all I have to tell the audience. And I keep telling them thank you for their support. And I appreciate their support. Regardless of having different faith, they still show their support regardless. And I appreciate that. But tell the comedians and the mushriks, they should keep up the work because the trending is helping a lot. So I'm getting people who actually want to listen to the message of the Quran. So that is good.
That is thank nice. Thanks for taking your time to, and talking with us.
I appreciate that.
Okay, yeah, and as usual, so as I'm saying, they had a debate. Baba Shuaib has also expressed his feelings or his whatever went on. So thanks to Baba Shuaib. I think I'll end the conversation here. Baba Shuaib has dropped. Okay, Munyina Muti, the Baba Shuaib so kind has said no. So what can say? Prophet Muhammad ain't holy. He never said this as an attack on Prophet Muhammad. That is what he said. He's not saying this like to disrespect Prophet Muhammad. He said but he according to him, he's making the point from the Quran. Don't exaggerate. According to don't exaggerate. Don't say what Allah is not saying. Don't say what Prophet himself never said about himself. Okay, and even though yet you respect your Prophet, but that is what he was trying to do. But the people took as an offense. Okay, people took it as an offense. Okay, so Christians say you can't say Jesus is holy and answer be say kwampana ye or reason be a can say no nti be who say why only a prophet you can't Jesus only just a man. Okay, he's more than a man, so you holy kwampama ye your reason why, but who you Muslim there Prophet Muhammad was only a prophet only divine. So it's not Baba Shuaib. I don't think so he's saying this to attack anybody. And this verse now about breastfeeding, and it's very, very interesting. Say and answer be on that particular topic no. I didn't think breastfeeding 5 times I was a walk around and not any honum bill. According to the hadith So what is saying Baba Shuaib Medasi, okay. I hope say people understand whatever went on right now. Baba Shuaib so can argue has say into the conversation we basically was saying they are saying there is a second debate. That's the agreement that they went was there was going to be 2 debates. But sometimes, just like Abraham Ben Moshe did with UTI liar, UTI Dawa. Okay. Abraham Ben Moshe was supposed to debate with UTI Dawa. Many debates, not only one debate, but Kofi TV, we all saw what happened. UTI Dawa, maybe, okay. I'm not saying that it's going to be the same case here. Jafar Muhammad, there's one guy, there's Jafar Muhammad. They did the same thing with me too. I had a debate with him. There's supposed to be 2 debates. I did a debate with him. He never came for the second debate. Okay, there is some ways. Sometimes when some of the Muslims they come for a debate, and the first one doesn't go well for them, they don't come back. I don't know what Siddik if it's going to be the same case here too, I don't know. I'm just saying it, okay? So I hope say that debate comes on, the second debate of Baba Shuaib and Siddik Salis, okay? Salis. And for conversation when see what saying it for me to be asked me follow page and mon support to mon subscribe to the channel, okay? Sethoossk. And Baba Shuaib so when me am one bought the platform ni din what say, but Baba Shuaib so the platform no the correctional officer, the correctional officer on Facebook and on YouTube na be the correctional officer honum. And I say Baba Shuaib, okay, ube no honum Baba Shuaib so and the platform no on YouTube so honum sa the correctional officer on YouTube. I think that TikTok is the same name no honum. And to follow pages me na my why. Mr. Sethoossk for Mama bye.